You got your phone on Do Not Disturb?
Mm-hmm.
You're live.
Hi. Sorry. I am waiting for Shireen to come and sit and join us. So come on down. Anyways, hi all. Good evening. I know it's been some time. Welcome back to Let's Talk with Olu. And tonight it's with Let's Talk with Olu and Shireen.
Hey.
First and foremost, Merry belated Christmas all. Happy New Year. I hope your New Year has gotten off to a great start. If it hasn't, don't worry, don't panic. We still have time. We can self-correct. So we're back. We're back in the fold, talking about whatever you want to talk about. Tonight, though, we're going to be talking about the year that was, 2024. Don't know what happened to that year. I blinked and it was over.
It was.
Before we get started, I want to do a little bit of an unexpected shout out. I'm going to even surprise my guest here tonight.
Okay.
So, all of my lives are filmed here at Perspective Studio Productions. So I want to give a little shout out to Perspective Studios, owned by Miss Shireen here.
Hey.
So this is why I need my phone, because I couldn't remember all this. So here I go.
And I'm going to just walk over there while you give me the shout out and come back, okay?
Okay, you go ahead and walk
because this is
over.
live and this is what you got to do when you're running two businesses.
You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. So go ahead.
So anyways, as I was saying, all of my lives are filmed here at Perspective Studio Productions, owned by Shireen. Perspective Studio is your one-stop shop for all your creative ideas, whether it's podcasting, photography, workshops, classes, meetings, content days, or even small intimate events can all be done here at Shireen's studio. She has created a space that allows your vision to come to life. The studio is divided into two rooms. One is equipped with stylish furniture and state-of-the-art equipment, ideal for podcasters, content creators, and fashion enthusiasts. It's a place where warmth meets innovation, designed to inspire and facilitate your flow of ideas. The second room offers a blank canvas for your imagination, perfect for theme, photo shoots, and any creative project you can envision. If you're looking for a studio that allows you to let your creativity shine, contact Shireen. I'll ask Shireen to put all of her contacts into the comment section so you can have her contact info, her social media links, and all the information that you need to contact her. Perspective Studio Productions.
Awesome. Can I come back in?
You can come back in
Okay.
now. All right, so now that she's done her job,
Sometimes you got to do that, right?
as a studio owner and creator of all this, let's get started on Let's Talk.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I love having you. I love chatting with you. You know that. So yes. And thank you for agreeing to do this. It's the first of the year. So we'll be doing this in 2025. I'll be doing this every other Thursday now. So I have a schedule. I have a routine. I might beef it up more later on, but for now we'll be on live every other Thursday with a new guest, different theme, different topic to talk about. Sometimes it'll just be me. We'll see how it goes, but I will always be here every other Thursday.
Awesome.
Let's get started.
Okay. Awesome.
So that was fast. 2024 is over. That was fast. What did 2024 look like to you? What did it look like to me? What did it look like to you, Shireen?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have to say 2024 was a pretty good year. Wow, I'm sitting here thinking about the things that I've accomplished in that year. The conference, so the first part of my year was eaten up with the first 4 months, putting the conference together, preparing myself for it. That was quite the undertaking. And then the month afterwards, just basking in the glow of the success of that conference.
Yeah. How does that feel?
I still smile. It
Yeah?
still makes me smile.
It's a huge accomplishment.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It felt good. It was so well received. People are still talking about it, which blows my mind because here we are planning the second annual. Can we talk about how fast the year went by?
Talk about having an anniversary.
Right? Right? What an
That's
anniversary to have.
Yeah.
So that's what my year looked like. My year looked like perfecting my niche as a life coach, what kind of life coach I want to be, what kind of coach do I want to be, the different avenues that I can use my platform for. I'm so blessed and so grateful to all of you guys that came along on the ride with me and are still on the ride with me. Thank you all for allowing me to be authentically myself. I love that I'm able to do something where I don't have to change who I am.
Yeah.
I am who I am, and clearly that's well received.
Yeah.
So thank you all for that. So that was my year. My year went by really quickly. Prepare for the conference, had the conference, and just glow. But then you have to work. You have to get up now and say, okay, that was over. That was in the past. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. And now what's next? What are my next steps? And how do I use this platform, and how do I use this success to propel myself? So that's business-wise. Personally, there's struggles when you're starting a business, when you're an entrepreneur. There's struggles that nobody sees.
It's true,
So,
but it's good to have other entrepreneurs that you can converse with, so they can kind of level you, so you know you're not the only one going through it, right? And so you can feel supported, and so you can support as well, right? And so you can learn from each other as well, right?
That is very, very true. The support that you need. I was talking to someone today about, time versus money, and I find that time is more valuable.
It is
a lot more valuable. So there's a lot of time that goes into what we do as entrepreneurs and businesswomen and what have you. But you guys have heard me say this many times, and I won't stop saying this. I love it. I love every second of it. The struggles, the what's next, you eat what you kill, because that's what happens when you are a entrepreneur and a business person.
And if you don't kill, you don't eat.
If you don't kill, you don't eat.
Unless you're like into the plants.
Well,
you still got to look for the plants.
You're right. So, but having said all that, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else than what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of fulfillment in the space, especially if you wanted to be an entrepreneur for a long period of time. Like if you've had that calling, and you've worked, like a 9 to 5 or whatever that other job was, but yet inside of you feel like I should really be doing X, Y, Z, right? So now that you get what you asked for, you're blessed.
Yeah.
You got to like grind and kind of go through the ebbs and flows, and just try to remember to enjoy it.
What was 2024 like for you? What was your early year like?
Oh my goodness. Should I pull up my notebook?
Pull out your notebook. I brought my phone.
I'm like tons of notes. So I did some reflection. I actually filmed my version of this conversation yesterday for my own channel.
Okay.
I spent January building the studio.
Okay.
Right. I actually got laid off in February.
Was that last year?
Yeah. It was all within the same time frame, right? And then we went networking, right? Like we went to events. I sponsored events. I spoke as a keynote speaker at one event, and thank you for being very supportive and being there. And I got more intimate at that one particular event than I've ever been. I've been to a couple of podcast summits, and the one thing, I did a lot of things. I did not rest well. And the second half of the year, I learned how to make money. Coming from corporate, listen, I didn't even know that I wasn't, like I was making money, but I was like happy for anything. So it was a mindset change, but I had a cushion already because I just got laid off. So you don't think about making money when you have a cushion, because you're not because you don't want it, because you're not used to it. You're used to your paycheck.
It's a very big adjustment.
It is. And once once you're like, because when you have a cushion of money, things still get paid because you just take from the cushion. It's not as fluffy, but you just take from the cushion.
And some people's cushion looks different. My cushion is not necessarily my cushion.
Right. Okay.
So everybody's cushion looks different than what you're taking
Yeah.
from. But you learn to make it work.
Yeah, of course. But once the cushion gets a bit more flat, you have to figure out how to put stuff back into that pillowcase, right? So you have to look to grind and to make money and to figure out how to make money, and then to figure out how to meet your targets. If you have your household costs. For me, I have now operational costs within the business. But I will say, all in all, I loved it. I'm the wall, meaning I have had the pleasure to sit over there and the honor to sit over there and just help other people put out their stories. It gets intimate in this space. It's like they say, oh, if the walls could talk, my ear's always listening. I've bonded and made new friendships and relationships. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. When we talk about the fulfilling part, I wouldn't have it any other way, because I enjoy the serving part of it, right? So never mind, we'll get into like the learnings of things, but and the burnout and all that jazz there, we'll get into those things, but just being able to be here and hear what people, being able to assist people.
Well, and I think having the honor and the pleasure of hearing people's stories.
Girl, and it's not even just for me, it's for, there's somebody out there that needs to hear what you're saying, right? Because either they're, and it doesn't always have to be a sad story, but they might be struggling through something, they might be going through something, they might relate to being laid off and not knowing what to do. They might want to know how to put on an event. I put on an event, that thing gave me anxiety. Like I've never had a panic attack in my life, and I had like panic attack. So we are our ancestors' inspiration, like, and we're paving the way for the people that are behind us, the women that are behind us, right? So
yeah, it's starting to look different now. The workforce is starting to look different. But that's my business side of 2024. Personally, I always try to make changes for myself and everything. I don't call them resolutions.
Me neither.
This year I call them expectations. These are things that I expect from myself. One of them, I'm already seeing that taking place, and I'm like, okay, God, I see you, thank you. But personally, once my conference was over in April, took a deep breath. Me and my girls, you often hear me talk about my Rejuvenation Sisters. We took a trip to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That was great. That was lovely. They had, there's a waterfall in Costa Rica that you just lose yourself in. Like I remember just walking, and they tell you before you get there not to go too close.
Okay.
Like there's an invisible line that you can't see, but the guys back there have whistles.
Yeah.
And if you get too close, they start blowing the whistle.
Yeah.
It's a good thing because I would have walked right under that waterfall.
Oh.
I was so.
Oh, you can't see.
You know, you're right there, but it's just for me.
Yeah.
It was like I was standing in the presence of God.
Okay. Yeah.
I just felt, and I just kept walking.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, so that was a real pivotal moment for me. All of my trips and my moments on my trips has to do with water and God. Yeah, on my trip when we went to Panama, Punta Cana in 2023.
Yeah.
That's when the Lord told me I was a life coach and to have a women's conference. And then 2024, here I am in front of a waterfall thinking, wow, this just feels like the glory of the Lord. I feel like I'm in God's presence.
Yeah.
So that trip was great. Then, as we talk about eating what you kill and what it's like to have a business, and
I think that's happening because of your hand movements.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's happening because of your hand movements.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Anyways, so I not only did I go to Costa Rica with my rejuvenation sisters, I also went to Europe.
Wow, you did a lot of traveling.
Well, see what happened was, I mean, when you're starting your own business as an entrepreneur, we all know it takes about on average 3 years
Right.
before you can start seeing the fruits of those labors.
Yeah.
A little bit less if you're lucky or blessed, but for the most part, that's the time frame. But I was talking to my cousin's wife, and she was wanting to go to Europe for her birthday, and then she told me the price, and I went, "What? Yeah, sign me up." So
it was that good.
It was that good.
Oh, you need to tell me the price after because
It was
I
that
think that this year that's
good.
what I want to do.
It was that good. And it included the flight to and from Barcelona, and
oh wow,
it just didn't include our Airbnb. So I was like, yeah, I'm going on that trip.
Right.
Then I started saying to myself, maybe you really shouldn't. Like, look at your financial circumstance. Maybe not the wisest idea. I thought, no, I'm going. And that's one of the things. Yeah, it's one of the things too that I'm trying to be intentional about is taking care of me. I am a life coach, and my niche and my passion is self-care.
Yeah.
And there's just different ways of taking care of ourselves. And that's one of the ways I enjoy traveling. I've always wanted to go to Europe. I've always wanted to do a Mediterranean cruise. So that was perfect. I went, had a great time. So that was my year. My year was focusing on conference, traveling with family and friends, and just focusing on me. As most of you know, if not by now, all of you, I am the primary caregiver of my mom.
Right.
So anytime I have a chance to step outside of that and take a deep breath, I'm going to take it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take it. She's still, it's my honor and a blessing and a privilege, and I do it with love that I take care of my mom. But it's a lot of work. So anytime I can step outside of that and just take a deep breath and go and have a time out, so to speak,
yeah,
I'm going to take it. So personally and professionally, it was a really good year.
It is important to pour into ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving, right? You're giving as a coach, you're giving as a business owner, you're giving into like your conference, and now you're giving that give back, and you're taking care of your parents, right? That is not easy.
Nope.
And it's getting more common now, right? A lot of people are taking care of their parents, and there's a lot that goes along with that. So you deserve to be able to pour back into 𝗤𝗲 so that you can be rejuvenated, so you can honor yourself, so that you can continue to do the things that you're called to do.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to do that so that I can be the best daughter to my mother, best caregiver for her, best mother to my daughter, best coach for you. I can't do that. I'd be such a hypocrite if I wasn't taking care of myself. That's the same thing with a coach having a coach. We need to have coach mentors, right, in order to do what we do. So that was the good of 2024. It went by incredibly fast. Like, I can't even get over how fast it went by. That's why I'm so blown away that I'm literally in the midst of planning the second annual Let's Talk Women's Conference. So that was 2024. What was your personal side of some of the joyful things you did in 2024?
I didn't have no personal side of 2024.
Girl, we're gonna change that in 2025.
Yeah, I will.
I'm gonna change that.
Yeah, I didn't have any personal, like all my things were aligned to business except for probably one thing. And like I went to New York. I traveled a lot as well.
But a lot of it was work related.
You know.
I know.
Yeah. So I went to New York. I love being in New York. I did go by myself, so I do things, but I went there specifically for the 𝗤𝗲 event, which is like a beauty event, right? Where people fly in from all different states and have their products, and that's for my other brand, so I can meet new vendors. And then I did go to Atlanta, right? That was for Podcast Summit. I'm always trying to get better at what I do. I worked at a podcast event I'm wearing the shirt for the one I worked in Washington, in the DMV. And then I went to Barbados.
Okay.
And that
was pleasure.
It was pleasure. My brother got married, so I went to Barbados. But my roommate wanted to be out all the time, so we didn't really rest. We did not rest. We did not rest. So I don't think I did anything on a personal level besides, like, this was my personal level. My work was my personal level. And I am a bit of a, I want to say a workhorse, but I feel like I'm a pony compared to other people that I know. So I think, okay, no, I'm going to say I am a workhorse. Somebody else told me this week too. So yeah.
I think it's important, and you had touched on this earlier a few minutes ago. It's important to get rest, and that's one of the things.
Can I just do this?
Yeah.
I all I can think about is what I need to adjust as we're talking.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're projecting. Sorry. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to hold it.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good.
One of the things that I really need to work on and am working on and trying to improve is getting rest and listening to my body.
Yeah.
So if I want to do something and my body says, I don't know about you, but I'm not doing it, I just sit down and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So that's really, really super important. And when my business becomes the empire that I know it's going to become, I see myself not working Sundays and Mondays. I see myself like shutting down on Saturday at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and all messages and all emails that come in will be answered on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really vital to do that for ourselves. We tend to run ourselves into the ground. So go on a retreat. If there's a retreat happening, I'm doing I'm speaking at a retreat at the end of May. Go on a retreat. Go on a weekend retreat. Go on a weekend getaway with your girls. Go to Niagara Falls by yourself for the day. I just think it's really important that we allow ourselves to rest.
Yeah.
You touched on it, but you kind of skimmed over it really quickly. I thought, no, I want to talk about this. Almost everybody that I know is really tired because they're either like us, entrepreneurs just starting out, hustling, or they're working a 9 to 5 and they've got their side gig. They got their side hustle. Yeah. And almost all of us are either married and or have children.
Yeah.
Right? It's time to start. And now for those of you who are watching and saying, well, what if we don't have money to go on a cruise? Or what if I don't have money to go to New York and Atlanta and Barbados? Stay in Toronto.
I do.
Stay in Toronto.
You could
just do a staycation.
Yeah.
And staycation means kick everybody out the house and have a spa day in your house. I preach on this all the time. You'll hear me preaching on this all the time, but it's becoming more and more important to me as I'm recognizing more and more how much we give, and not take care of ourselves. So rest is important. Self-care is important. Taking some time out for yourself, going out to dinner. I mean, just anything that you can do that gets you away from the rat race, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Like even coming here to Fill My Lives, I get asked all the time.
Yeah.
Why do you come there? You can do it in the back of your house. You can do it in your dining room area. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
There's a comfort that I feel here, like I'm at home, and so I'd rather do it here.
Yeah. The year before, in 2023, I had a business, which I had her for 2024 for the majority, but she talked about every 6 weeks or 12 weeks to take a break. And so, but I was trying to think, because so I feel like it's 12 weeks because
every 3 months.
Because we based it off of the book 12-Week Work Year, and at 12 weeks. And so I was trying to remember when you were saying, did you do anything? Because the year before in 2023, in September, I booked an Airbnb for myself. Yeah. Now her thing is go away from your home at least 45 minutes so nobody can call you back home.
Is that per day, per week? What is that?
No. You can go away for 1 day. You can go away so within a 12-week period. So at the end of 12 weeks. So grind it out for the 12 weeks. And then the 12th week, or the 13th week, take a break before you go back into your next grind out.
Oh, I see.
Right?
I see.
But the key part is like staycation, but not in your house. So that you don't get distracted and get pulled into doing things. If someone can call you and say, hey, come help with the kids, or can you just do this, or mom, whatever the situations, be far enough over 45 minutes away so that you do not get tempted to go back.
Get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. And that's one of the reasons too that I do the lives here is being in your house, it's distracting. You look over to the corner, you're like, oh, what's that?
Yeah,
like,
squirrel.
Right? You're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Dust bunny. Like, oh. Like you just start, all of a sudden you start seeing things that you didn't see in the house, although you're home all the time. So there's reasons to get out of the house to do that. So that was our 2024 in review. Now, and I don't know if anybody wants to tell us what their year was like, but feel free to jump into the comments and tell us what your 2024 was like. 2025, what are some of the lessons we learned in 2024? The victories, I think we've touched on, our businesses. The conference was a huge success. Very grateful for that. What were some of the lessons I learned in 2024? The value of time. And I touched on this earlier. That's one of the lessons I learned. The value of time. I also learned, but I already knew this. Collaborations and connections are important. So important. I'm not one to compete. I will have an event the same day that you're having an event. Yeah. I will go to your event as a coach. I will go to your event. I don't believe in competing because I firmly, honestly believe what's for you is for you. Absolutely. What's for you is for you. I also believe that the pie is big enough for everybody to get a slice. And not just eat, but eat, and you're satisfied. Yeah. So I believe in collaborating more, and I do a lot of that. I go to events. I will support other people. I will support other coaches. My conference coming up this year, I had 3 speakers last year. I have 6 this year. Yeah. And we're all kind of in the same wheelhouse, right? But I want them to use the conference as a way to propel themselves as well. So I don't compete. I will collaborate with you. You and I just went out on the weekend. We did. And even in that one space, there were so many coaches. There were so many of like the same type of business, but there's enough for everybody to have their own audience space. Yes. Right. So yeah. So I learned that. Yeah. I learned connections and collaborations are important. I think that was one of the biggest lessons I learned. And I also learned that I can do this. Recently, what was I working on recently? And I did it. See, I have this habit of saying, I don't know how to do that. I'm just going to pay someone to do it because I just can't do that. So I saw this bathroom organizer. So one of those ones that go over the toilet on Marketplace. Lady wanted to sell it for $60. I looked, is it worth $60? So I Googled it to see what the real price was. It's like well over $100. Oh yeah, so it's worth it. Yeah. So I messaged back. I said, "Will you take 50? Yeah. You have to ask." And she's like, "Sure." Yeah. I go and I pick it up. I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to bring it into my bathroom." And it came in a box. Oh. It's brand new. Oh, so you had to put it together. Lovely. You could do that, Olu. So I say to myself, I don't know how to do this. I'm not doing this. So I open the box and it goes from worse to ridiculous because the instructions, which were there, there was no writing, there was no words. Oh, it's just the pictures. Just the diagrams of, and I'm like, no. How did you go? Have you not put anything together, girl? Did you not hear me when I said? There's just certain things I shy away from. It's the same thing I do with food, where I'll say I don't like that. Yeah. And someone will say, well, what about it don't you like? And I'll say, I don't know, I've never tried it. Girl. I do that all the time. And that doesn't even make any sense. I know. And the worst part is I pass it on to my daughter, so she's the same. Oh I digress. So anyways, I take this thing out of the box and there's the instructions. And so the first thing I do is I separate all the pieces. Okay. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. That's a huge step. Okay. So I've got all the pieces separated, all the screws and everything. Just assuming my daughter's going to come down and have pity on me and help me. I hope she looked at you and was like, "Good job, Mom." She came down with coat on, hat on, and knapsack on her back. I'm like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I got plans." I'm like, "Well, baby girl." She's like, "Mom, you'll be fine." And here, I'm like, I said, okay, but where's the screwdriver thing so I can put the screws on? So she goes and gets the electric thing. Okay. She's like, "Mom, it doesn't fit." You probably didn't it come with an Allen key? Well, she's like, "There should be an Allen key in here." And I'm like, "I don't see an Allen key." I'm like, now I'm freaking out already. Well, the Allen key was the same color as the screws, and it was in the same bag. Yeah. Found the Allen key, my daughter left, and here I am with this stuff. I am proud to say that thing is nicely over my toilet right now.
And it was all Olu?
It was all
I love
me. And I was really proud of myself. And then I said to myself, stop saying you can't do things. That's one of the great lessons I learned this year. Actually, it was last year. Well, this year going to last, whatever.
Yeah.
The lesson was learned. And even putting together my newsletter.
Yeah, you did a great job with that.
I liked it. I think it was really good. So that was a tremendous lesson to learn, that learning curve to say, okay, you know what? Stop saying you can't do something. So that's my tip to you guys for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Stop saying that you can't do something. I am one of the greatest offenders of that. I can't do that. I shouldn't even about to try it. How much does it cost us to hire somebody?
Yeah.
But I'm happy I had that lesson.
Well, I'm glad that you worked through it, and because you can do these things.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I can.
I have no, you can. Now you sound like the little
I could.
Yeah. For my kids, I have always said to them, there's nothing you can't do, because I don't want them to have that mindset that they cannot. But and then one affirmation that I had to constantly say to myself while working in the studio, putting it together, not getting any sleep, waking up, going to my 9 to 5, I work from home, was I believe in my ability to figure it out. I believe in my ability to figure it out. And I've literally said it so many times that I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm always figuring things out. I'm tired of figuring things out. Like, where's my husband? Why doesn't he come so he can come figure some things out for me? But I had to believe in myself to do that. One of my lessons that I've learned, the resting is a big thing for me because I was so tired. And I said this in my own show yesterday, is that people were even reaching out to me last week to say Happy New Year's. I was just for Happy New Year. And I couldn't even respond because I was so tired. So even throughout the holiday, I had expected to shut down for a bit. Mm-hmm. I didn't. Yeah. I was still working. I still had clients. Yeah, you shut down. I wish. I couldn't. I could have. And Mondays, I have dedicated to as a rest day, but I still tend to work. So in the new year, I will create pockets of time so I can spread it out. It doesn't have to be all on one day. So when I feel like I'm doing what I need to do, because even if I don't come into the studio maybe on a Monday, unless maybe it's a new client, I'll make an exception. But if I give myself blocks of time that are allocated to rest, I can take care of myself better, right? And I will share how I rested on my social media.
All right now.
Right? I can be like, I went and got reflexology today. This is how I rested. Yeah. Or I read a chapter of the book that I wanted to.
Walk.
Yeah.
Just something.
Yeah. Just like how you said you like to be around water, I am a water baby. Wait. Whatever, summer baby. But I love to be around big bodies of water. I find it to be very calming.
Very.
So I will share. Sometimes I go to the lake to kind of ground myself and just calm down, or I listen to water sounds as a way to shut off my racing brain. So I will share how I rest so that it becomes more intentional.
All right.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a lot of the lessons that we're learning is how to take care of us, because we want to be better at whatever it is that we're doing, whether it's being a caregiver to your mom, a pet mother to your child, a coach, a studio owner. You want to be better for whoever it is that you're taking care of, and you can't do that if you're not well. So I'm learning that lesson, and I'm also learning to feel less guilty about it.
Yeah,
that was another thing I used to feel.
That's a trauma response, they say, when you feel guilty. You want to know what Jackie said? Yeah,
but why are you fighting with your husband?
So he's not here yet, Jackie. I don't actually have a husband.
Does she know that?
Yeah, I don't have a husband, Jackie. My whole point is where you at, husband?
Yeah.
Come to help me. But that is a trauma response. They say that feeling guilty
Yes.
about
Yes.
taking rest, and
Yeah.
especially with Black women,
Yep.
because
The way
we're
we're
always,
raised.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
that parents saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, what you doing? You're sitting down, you ain't doing something. You get up," or calling people lazy.
We know nothing about self-care in our culture.
Yeah.
It's lazy. You're lazy,
Yeah.
you're nasty, you're never gonna get married.
Yeah, we're getting better.
We're getting better at it. So those are some of the lessons that I learned, the importance of doing that. And so I'm looking at my calendar,
Mm-hmm.
and people are calling me and reaching out to me. And that was one of my expectations of the year, is that people will find me. And like people will call me and they will contact me. And my phone has been ringing since the new year. And so next week it's like about, I think, 2 or 3 women that I met on Saturday. We're meeting to talk.
Oh wow.
Just
really
initial conversations, and people that I've met on new Facebook groups that I've joined.
Yeah.
You know, so all of next week it's like, you know, coffee with this person here, virtual coffee with this person here.
Yeah.
And I thought, ooh, this was literally one of my expectations, that people will contact me, they'll reach out, and they will find me.
That's interesting the way you say it.
Yeah.
Expectations, because you asked me, and I'm like, I don't have expectations.
No, expectations. They're not New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
this is what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
In the Bible it says, take your vision, write it down, make it plain.
Yeah.
Write it down, make it plain. I wrote it down, I made it plain.
Yeah.
This is what I'm expecting to have happen in 2025.
Excuse me.
I'm expecting to have another very successful conference.
Of course, yeah.
That's my expectations. My first one was very intimate, very small. It was 50 people.
Yeah.
This one, the place holds 150.
And it's going to be full to the brim.
It's going to be full.
So get your tickets.
Yeah.
Go find her website.
Those are my expectations for the year.
Yeah.
That's my vision for 2025. Is another successful conference. I was reading through, because I met with my web designer today, and just revamping the website and bringing the conference to the landing page now and all that stuff. So while I was waiting to meet with him, I went through my website and I went through all the comments that we received from attendees at last year's conference.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Like, it was blowing my mind. It's so crazy. So those are the things I'm looking forward to in 2025. Looking forward to where God's going to take me. Very excited about that. So those are my expectations. I expect to have a great year.
Yeah.
A highly successful year. Not being afraid of whatever comes my way, taking it all in, but just doing it with a spirit of discernment.
Yeah. Okay.
Making sure that I'm opening the door to the right opportunities, the right collaborations, the right destiny helpers, and shutting the door. I mean, slamming it shut in the face. And you got to be very careful when you start stepping into this, and you're relying on people to collaborate with and to connect with. And I know.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. But you have to be very, very careful about that. So just be intentional about who you let into your space.
Yeah.
Another thing too that I learned too is whatever you're gonna do it afraid. If something scares you, you think, oh man, I don't know if I can do that. I did not think I could do that conference. You guys were not there to hear the conversation between me and God. I did not think I could do that. And one of the things I heard was do it afraid.
Yeah.
Do it afraid. I mean, for me, I'd rather do it afraid than not do it at all. Like, not doing something that's on your heart, that God's placed on your heart, that's more scary. You don't know what you're leaving behind.
Yeah, I have a quote that I've followed for a long, long time, and I don't know who wrote it, but like, the chances that you don't take in life are the things that you will regret. Time will go by.
Not only will time go by, somebody else will do it. Somebody else
and then
will
you'll be
come
going, oh shoot, I really wanted to do that. Oh, I had that idea. Yeah, that's happened to me a few thousand times.
So that's my vision. That's my expectations for 2025. I'm expecting great things.
As you should.
I'm expecting great things.
Yeah.
So I started off talking about, I'm going to let Shireen tell us what she's expecting. But I started off talking about the studio. That just came on my heart today. I'm like, I'm going to open up. I'm just going to do a little shout out.
Thank you.
Because I love the studio. And I want all of you guys to come down that are looking for a place to do a photo shoot. if you're doing a small workshop or a class, like, come down there. It's such a multi-purposeful space.
It is.
It really, truly is. So I'm going to make sure that Shireen puts all of her contact info and social media links in the comment section. As for me, as a life coach, I am starting to find out how I really want to navigate that road.
Okay.
What that looks like for me. I'm really passionate about group sessions.
Yeah.
And that's because I want women to be supported by other women.
Yeah.
And that's really big on me. So you'll find in my next newsletter or the newsletter after that, you'll find information about group session. Yeah, I really want to push that. And I know women will be afraid of that because they're going to say, I don't want people knowing my business. The problem with that fear of people not knowing your business is that it holds you back. That fear of, I don't want her to know what I'm really going through. But then where do you get the support and the encouragement from if we don't know what you're going through? It's a safe space because that's important to me. But I really think, and all group sessions are in actuality, are mini versions of my conferences.
Yeah.
So instead of having over 50 women or having 150 women, we'll have rooms of 10 to 12.
An intimate space.
Yeah, so it's really just mini conferences, truthfully, is what I'm doing. So that's another thing that's my vision for 2025, to do a lot of group sessions with women or coaching that way.
Yeah.
I have some other projects that I'm going to keep near and dear to my heart before I release them. And looking forward to the conference. The date of the conference is Saturday, April 26th. Thank God I didn't say August. For some reason, I keep saying August. It's Saturday, April 26th.
It in August.
I did that too.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in Ajax at the Audley Recreation Center. It's going to be 3 times as much fun as last year's was. We're having the same chef. Chef Leon will be coming and preparing a meal for us again. Again, 6 exceptional speakers. I'm super excited about. You guys should have been there when we had our photo shoot. It was crazy. Fun. Oh my God, I'm like, the vibe in this room, I can only imagine what the conference is going to be like.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll have more giveaways. And we'll also be giving away tickets on the lives. So that's another way, another encouragement to watch the lives. We'll be giving away free tickets to the conference on some of the lives.
You gotta tune in.
You gotta tune in. You gotta tune in to find out when we'll be giving out the tickets and how. You gotta tune in to find out how. I've already had people that have bought tickets that said, and they can't even buy them yet, but it's like, let me know when I can buy them. I love the ones that reach out to me right away and say, I know I can't make it on that date, but I want to bless you.
Yeah.
So I want to buy a ticket for you to give to someone deserving. So there'll be tickets to give away like there was last year.
Yeah.
It's going to be another phenomenal day. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be talking about it over and over and over again, but that's what I'm looking forward to. So the first 4 months of the year is conference. Yeah. And group session. And then I'll also be talking a bit about the retreat that I'll be doing in May. I'll be speaking about that as well.
That'll be exciting.
Yes. Actually, myself and another one of my speakers, Rebecca, will be doing that retreat as well.
Okay.
So we'll be speaking about that in the upcoming sessions. Miss Shireen, what is your expectation, your vision like for 2025?
So I don't really have expectations, but I think we're just going to say it differently. I tend to pick a word that kind of carries me through for the year. And so last year my word was grace.
Okay.
I needed to give myself grace in everything that I did.
That's important.
And like in my accountability groups with my sistrins, it's been like, give them grace, or they remind me to give me grace, and all. So grace kind of carried us all through. It was sprinkled throughout our conversations. For 2025, I've decided to have 3 words. 1 is prosperity, because everything I do will be prosperous.
Amen.
Right. 2 is intentional. I will be extremely intentional with my time. I feel like in the beginning you kind of like throw, what do they call, like throw things on the wall to see what would stick.
I always said that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
but
throw it
now,
on the wall.
yeah, but now I'm gonna be like really, really intentional. Like, okay, so if I'm going there, what's my purpose? If I'm going there, what do I want to get out of it? If I'm going there, I gotta connect with at least one person.
Yeah, we have that conversation all the time.
Yeah.
Before we go to an event, before we decide to sign up or register or buy that ticket. Yeah.
Well, it's like a different look. Like in the beginning of last year, it was like, we got to bring our business cards. We got to have our business cards. Oh, we forgot our business cards. Oh, we need our business cards. Now it's like the business cards are already packed.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay,
where are we going?
Who do I need to meet? What do I hope to get out of this? So the intention is like doing a little bit of strategy before I go out, and then discipline. The last word is discipline. But what I'm looking forward to is we are actually changing our second room. So you kept talking about our room, and I'm like, well, I'll just wait till I tell her, because we're changing that room. And now it's going to be another podcast room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about?
So you can still take photo shoots everywhere. You can still, we have tables and chairs and things like that. So you can still do courses. We just move things out. But the demand is here. So we are having another room set up. It's going to be more elegant. It is more of a white room. We do already have the big chair. You haven't been in the other room, right? No, so we already have. I like that. It's been, well, it's not changing. It's changing a little bit, but not that much, right? It's you know, sometimes it's demand, right? So we're fulfilling the demand. And we are partnering with another location and opening up another podcast studio in the west end of the city.
Oh, nice.
And we're launching later on this month.
Nice.
I have clients that come from like Brampton, Kitchener. And so now we'll be servicing our services on the other end of the city.
Nice.
I am super excited.
Well, that's so funny. Okay, so I wasn't planning on talking about this. But okay, so you went there, so I'm going to walk in. I was speaking with a young lady at the event that we went to on Saturday.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was in Brampton. And so,
we're the other 905.
Right. And so there were people that were like, oh, man, I wish I could come to your conference. I don't drive on the highway, which I completely understand.
Yeah.
I don't drive on the highway.
Yeah.
And I said to someone, I said, maybe it's time I look at having a mini conference in the West End. And so here you come talking about, you know,
you gotta go where
you gotta go where you gotta be willing to take those chances and step outside of your comfort zone. Clearly, Durham is my hub. You know, Whitby Ajax, that's my hub. And so my conferences will always be here, but not only here. Not only here. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's growth.
We're working through all the fine details. We're working through, on Monday I was there, that's why I didn't rest on Monday. So we were over there putting things together to test it out. And the person, it makes sense, like they say that you need to be in your space. Even we heard this on the weekend, with people that are smarter than you in the room. I believe we heard that all the weekend.
So if you are,
you can't be the smartest person.
You can't be the smartest person.
Yeah, you got to be able to learn. How do you learn?
You don't,
right?
You don't grow. You don't learn. You don't. You know, if you're the, if you, or worse, if you think you're the smartest person in the group. Yeah.
And so I'm excited for what I'm going to learn from from my partner. Right. There's changes that I recognized after doing my review of my notes and having my notebook. And so there's infrastructure changes that will make it from an operational standpoint, but to be able to learn from somebody else, like just every time I go there, I learn something new about her. And she's kind of like behind the scenes. She's not, because she knows a lot of people. I've hung out with her. But I'm excited for just getting to know the other side of the city, right? And so, yeah. And I did, honestly, I'm ready to hire, right? I'm ready to hire because we have the 2 rooms here now. And then, well, we always had the second room, and then that side. And you said it earlier, partnerships is really where it's at. The quote we heard that you have pinned in your WhatsApp is like if you want to go far, go by yourself. But if you want to go fast, go with others.
So let me
right?
read it. I
Yeah.
think you just butchered that.
No, I
Let me
didn't. I know
see.
it. You might have it written differently, but I do.
No, well, you wrote it. So
I know. Listen. Just
This
because
is
I
what we
wrote
do.
it. Yeah.
this is what we do. Hold on. So
But I didn't
yes,
know
if you want to go fast,
Go by yourself.
go alone.
Go alone.
If you want to go further, go together. I love collaborations.
Yeah.
I love collaborations.
Yeah.
I love partnerships. I love people who understand and want to come along. But they have to come with good intentions, and that's where you need the spirit of discernment.
Yeah, you gotta really just kind of like suss things out. I think that's actually one of the things that I learned this year too. Some people take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
My kids always talk about it. Oh, mom, people somehow think because you're so nice, stop being so nice. And I'm like, it's not about being nice. Like I'm gonna be myself, but I'm also gonna kind of just sit back and, just watch, and then have a bit of discernment of okay, see how you move. I actually feel like entrepreneurs no different from corporate. There's some sly people out there. There's some sly people. So you do have to find the people that have a good heart to kind of work with. But you know what? It's business.
Yeah.
So some people are going to shade you, but you just need to recognize what it is or what it's for, and just get what you need and keep it pushing.
Yeah. Very, very good advice. My word for 2025 started off as bold.
Mm-hmm.
That was my word, and then I added the word faith to it. So
Yeah.
it's bold faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then I added a third word,
Okay.
intentional.
Yeah.
Just to be intentional about what you're doing, intentional about who you are, intentional about how you're treating yourself, how you're treating others, intentional about the steps that you want to take. For me, it's intentional about spending time with God and trying to hear what He's trying to say to me, learning His Word.
Yeah.
Rebecca and I still meet every morning at 5:55 a.m.
Oh, you do? I didn't even know you do that.
We started July 2nd. We started getting up every morning and praying at 6 a.m.
Okay.
So being intentional about that.
Yeah.
And that's just all the tools that I need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Starting my day off in the Word, being intentional about what my next steps are, who I'm letting into my life, who I'm letting into my space and into my arena.
That part right there is so important.
It's so important,
Yeah.
and just being intentional about what I want for myself, and without watching what others are doing. It's kind of hard not to say, look how many followers she has, or it's really hard not to do that. But if I'm watching that so hard, I'm not focusing on my own platform.
Yeah.
Right. So those are all the lessons too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really get caught up on the numbers of that. Like I watch the numbers of other things, but not of that. I just feel like I've always been the type that if I'm watching what other people are doing, it takes away from me being original and creative. So it
just takes away from you. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
So I'm not a jealous person, so I just feel like I kind of have my own way of doing things, right? So I feel like we got to just not kind of focus on what other people are doing. We can support them, or if we don't align with them, then just ignore them altogether. Yeah. But I think you do definitely have to kind of focus on what we want, what we're working on, right? So we can get where we want. Yeah. But I wanted to say one other thing about what I'm focusing on. I am focusing on my clients and where they're going and what they need. So if you want to start a course, then reach out to us, because we do course development. Like we really focus on video content. So sure, you can come and take a photo shoot and things like that. And you can definitely have a podcast here, right? Definitely have a podcast. Like, what are you doing if you don't have a podcast? But more from like a really strategic standpoint, we like to look at what are you doing within your business, or what are your goals, and make sure that you're also being intentional. And we look at the bigger picture, right? And then produce things that support your goals as a business. Yeah.
So there you have it, our year in review. and what our 2025 looks like, our goals, our expectations. Perspective Studios is here for all your podcast needs.
Reach out.
Photography needs, content need, and they are expanding, so they'll have more room to do that for you. I am your coach. I am a keynote speaker, creator of the Let's Talk Women's Conference. My passion, my niche is self-care, taking care of ourselves. You can reach me on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, website, they're all my name. Couldn't make it any easier for you. And thank God my name is so unique. So you're not going to get confused. But if you're looking for a life coach, or if you've said to yourself, do I need a life coach? I think if you've ever said to yourself, do I need a life coach? You need a life coach.
So reach out.
Yeah, nobody who doesn't need one at all will say, do I need one? No.
Yeah.
For example, I don't drink coffee. So you're never going to hear me say, do I need a coffee? Right? So if you've said to yourself, if you've asked yourself, do I need a life coach? Or if you've said to yourself, I do need a life coach, but man, I can't afford one. You don't know what you can or cannot afford. So reach out, and that's why I like the group sessions as well. It's a way more affordable. You can pay monthly, you can pay weekly. I like that option that I've created. But if you're asking yourself, do I need a life coach? You probably do. We all need coaches. We all need that support. We all need to know areas in our lives that we can improve on, but we just don't even know where to start. Like sometimes we're just so deep into whatever it is that we're into, you don't even know where to start. It's like, when you go to wash the dishes and there's dishes everywhere. Like, what do I wash first? The cup, the plate, like you just don't even know where to start. That's pretty much like our lives. So reach out to me. If you have any questions, you want a consultation, email me at info@onlyneely.com and just put coach in the subject line or put consultation in the subject line and I'll reach out to you. I'll be happy to start with you, have that initial consultation, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds good.
Okay, Perspective Studios. Life Coach.
Yes.
2025. Here we are.
We're here.
Second annual Let's Talk Women's Conference.
Date again?
Saturday, April 26th.
Nice.
Tickets will be going on sale shortly. I believe I should have my website revamped and up and running by the end of next week, which means you can jump on there and buy your tickets.
You know what you should do? You should buy a ticket for a friend. Women's Day is in March.
Okay.
So buy a ticket for one of your girlfriends, buy a ticket for your mom, buy a ticket for your sister and auntie, and gift somebody and come as well.
Exactly. I think it'll be the perfect Mother's Day gift, an early Mother's Day gift. I don't even know what day Mother's Day is this year, but it's probably a week or two after the conference.
Yeah.
But bring a friend. I was reading through the comments from last year, and people were empowered. They were affected. There were a lot of comments about, I'm going and I'm opening that drawer and dusting off that idea that I had buried in that drawer. You've encouraged me. You've inspired me. There was a lot of that, and there's going to be a lot more of that this year. It's a great day. It's a long day. It's like from 9 to 4, I think, this year because of all the speakers. But man, does it go by fast. I can't believe how fast last year
went. And you're
by.
feeding us.
I'm feeding you. I'm giving you gifts.
Yeah.
There's laughs. There's tears.
You should say also, if you want to sponsor the event, please reach out if you have a business or you want to sponsor in kin, right?
Yes. Yes, I have. I've already started signing up sponsors, which is funny. I love that. But yeah, that's part of the collaboration. Yeah. Of people saying, can I sponsor you? But I thought that was going to be a very difficult thing when my dear friend first mentioned that to me last year. I thought it was going to be difficult. I'm not good at asking. Right. I can give. I'm not good at asking. I'm not good at receiving. So that was really hard for me.
So if you're not good at asking, what I hear is another expectation.
No, I'm good at that.
Okay.
No. My first sponsor last year, the first person I called when I spoke to her, and I was halfway through my spiel that I had sat there putting together. Okay.
Very virgin.
Yeah. I was halfway through. She's like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, good.
And I went, oh, that's how that goes? I ended up with 12 sponsors.
Oh,
So-
wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
So you're good now.
Yeah, I'm cured.
Okay, so now you got to beat 12 this year.
Right,
Yeah.
cured.
Yeah.
So yes, if you want to sponsor the event, I'm not sure yet if I will be having vendors. It depends on the space.
Yeah.
I'll be visiting the venue soon to figure that out. But if you'd like to sponsor, if you have any questions, if you want to collaborate in any way, shape, or form, reach out to me and let's talk.
I love it.
Let's talk. So thank you all very much. Have a blessed night. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, which will be January 23rd.
Okay.
And,
I don't have the calendar open.
I do have a topic of discussion for that night. Rebecca and I have been talking a lot about the effects, Sundays of yesteryears.
Okay.
Sundays of back in the day versus Sundays of today. The vast difference and how it affected the family dynamic from back there to now.
Yeah.
It'll be a fascinating discussion. I can't wait. That'll be on Thursday, January 23rd. I'll see you then. Until then, be well. Blessings all and have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. I got to get up to turn it off.
She has to get up and
I
turn
do.
it off. She'll work. She's working and speaking. Good night all. I'll see you soon.